finished pieces of pine. They are 4 feet by 10 inches and 1 inch width. So, and I've got my sander, Black & Decker sander. I bought it off of Amazon. I'll link it down below. But I'm going to go ahead and sand these down real quick and then see if I can get to staining tonight too. Fingers crossed. So as you can see, I have just been using like an old rag to do the staining. You can really use whatever you want. You can use an old t-shirt, you can use paper towels, cheesecloth, whatever you feel like. I just prefer to use some old dish rags. So that's what I'm using. And I'm just using for the sandpaper, it's a little sanding block and it's a 320 grit on one side and a 220 grit on the other. And so I'm just using the 320 grit and doing like a finishing sanding. So in between each coat of stain, I did use the 320 grit and just do like a quick little sand over it. And that just really helps to keep it smooth. Gives it a nice finish. And as you can see, I'm not being super particular when I'm applying the stain. All I really try to do is keep it in straight lines. I just try and do like a sweeping motion in a straight line, a straight direction. And that's really all I try and do. This stain with the polyurethane in it, it does dry really fast. So I try and not do too large of an area at once. I try and stick to like kind of just smaller little sections. But again, just going in a straight line. I don't go back and forth. You can't really tell because I've sped up the clip. But I do like one swipe down, I lift up, I go back to where I started and swipe down. I'm not rubbing it back and forth into the wood, because I've found that when you do that with this stain, it dries it quicker and then it starts to sort of like peel it away, almost like when you use an eraser on paper. It starts to sort of peel it away and you see these like flakes of it sitting on top of whatever your work surface is. So you don't want to rub, like be abrasive going back and forth. You really just want to go in the same direction until it's really spread out. the lighting isn't great. I'm just in my kitchen. I don't have great lighting here, but you can see this is one coat of the ebony stain, and this is the color I'm going for. This is the same stain. I can't remember how many coats I did on this. I'm gonna say at least 4. And so it's nice and dark. It's pretty shiny because there is polyurethane in the stain. So it's nice. You don't have to go over it with some poly unless you want to do some extra coats. But this is the deep, rich color that I'm going for. So it's going to take a while. It's going to take a few stains, but this is already dry. It's only been about, I'd say 15, 20 minutes. And it's dry to the touch. I could let it dry for longer, let it really seep in, but I'm probably going to go ahead and do a second coat. Or maybe I'll do the first coat on all of it, on all the sides. Maybe that's what I'll do. But I got the second board sanded down, so she's ready to roll. So this is going to be an all-day project, most likely, because I don't have a garage. I don't have like a separate space that I can just leave this stuff to dry. I'm doing it on my kitchen counter, which is limited space. And I'm just doing that in hopes that my kids don't touch it when it's wet. But yeah, I mean, you don't need a separate space. You don't need a garage, a driveway, all that stuff to be able to do this. You can work with what you got, and that's what I have to do. I got to work with what I have as far as space goes. But yeah, so I'm just going to try and get as much of it done today as I can. I think for my brain, just to keep things semi-organized, I think I'm just going to stick with trying to get the first coat of everything done and then go on to the second coat of everything and do it that way, rather than try and finish one board and then start with the next. I don't know. Maybe that's the better way. I don't know. But I think I'm going to go ahead and start finishing the first coat on all sides of this board. Sounds good. I might do a sanding in between. These boards are just 2 boards of unfinished pine that I bought from Lowe's, and I think they were around the $16 or $17 range for each. So individually they're about $17, which really isn't bad. So even if you did somehow royally mess it up to where it can't be fixed in your mind, you're really only out $17. You might be able to repurpose it, paint it and do something else with it, turn it into a coat rack, turn it into something. I don't know, make it like a welcome sign for your front porch if you've got one of those. Do something with it, you know what I mean? But don't be afraid to stain. It really, like, I think it can seem scary when you have a vision for something and you're so worried that you're going to mess it up because you've never used stain and you don't want it to turn out terrible, but like chances are it's not going to from what I found. Basically, if you can move your arm in the same direction and just go for like a straight line to rub a stain in, then guess what? You can do it. And in reality, when I just did the first stain, I actually really liked the look. And then I did the second stain and I was thinking, ooh, maybe I should just leave it like this. You know, it's got like the black tint to it, but it's nice. You can totally see the wood grain through it very well. It like really enhances the wood grain. It looks so nice. I love it. But I stuck with my gut. I went with the darker stain because that's originally what I wanted. We've got some other dark toned wood in here, and I plan on refinishing the top of our dining room table this same ebony stain. So I really would like it to all sort of just look cohesive. Instead of having different stains that complement each other, I kind of just want it to all look like it's the same. That's totally just preference, to each their own. But you could totally leave it like this. I think it looks really great. And if I had less stuff on the walls and I was just going for a really simple like 2-shelf look with just like some decor on it, I would probably just have done 2 stains and left it like that, because then the black brackets would really pop on it too. And it just would look so nice, so fancy. Okay, so I totally forgot to turn the camera on, but I'm starting on getting the brackets on the shelves. Finally, it took 4 coats to get it to the color that I like. Um, and they're looking nice. I got one bracket already on. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the other one, and then I might get to the second one tonight too. We'll see. It's getting pretty late, getting pretty dark. I did go ahead and drill some holes here so that I had something to start getting the screws in. So let's go ahead and get that next bracket on. All right, the lighting in here is pretty terrible right now. I apologize, but these are still beautiful. Very nice. I did mark it with some tape so I remember that I wanted this to be the top and this to be the outside edge. Lovely. I got the brackets off of Amazon, so I'll link those down below. They're a good price. I got a pack of 6, and I think it was only 20 something dollars. So I'll link it below in case you want to check them out. I didn't know this, but they're called J hooks because they sit. Let me grab one. Hold on. So they sit like this. So it looks kind of like a J. It's got a lip here. So your board can sit in here. I think it's specifically for 1-inch or 2-inch boards. These are 1-inch, so it's perfect. But 2 inches would still look nice and it would still hold. And so you've got 2 that go right into your shelf and then 2 that go into the wall. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do. Oh no, I do have plenty of room. Good. So if you had a 2-inch board, I'm not sure that you would be able to use this space because the board would cover it. But with this 1-inch board, I have plenty of room to be able to go in and get that second screw. So yeah, Jeremy was actually home early today and we just got the wall. It's just been a busy day, but we got the wall measured. So I know where this one is going to go. I think we may have changed exactly like the specific layout of the shelves. Originally, I was going to have them just lined up with each other, one above the other. But in looking at where our studs are on our wall, it wouldn't be centered in the room where the brackets would be, and that just does not sit well with me. So he had the idea, and it's genius. And I like as soon as he started saying it, I was like, I know what he's going to say, and yes, I think that's a good idea. So to have one like here and then one kind of off to this, does this make sense? So like one's here, you know what I mean? Am I making any sense? But so I think that's what we're gonna do because I also got some other stuff that's gonna go on this wall, and I don't know if I'll show that in this video actually. I might just show that in like a vlog. I'm not sure. Either way, I have more stuff that's going to go up on the wall. One is like a large picture that I can't bring myself to part with. I just absolutely love it. And the other thing is like this cubby thing that's going to be for our nature finds. And then I also found for free at my local recycling center has a swap shop, not a swap shop. I guess maybe a swap shop or a good shed. So there's just stuff that people drop off in there and it's for free. If you want it, go ahead and take it. And I found a cool little like chalkboard there. So I'm actually going to be staining the chalkboard this color too. I'm going to see how that wood takes to it. But yeah, so I have a lot of stuff that's going to go on this wall. Yeah, but I'm going to try to make it not look so school-ish, you know what I mean? Because this is also our dining room and it's our entry area. This is a very multi-purpose room. And I don't want it to all just be like school. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and get, well, I guess I need to measure the wall first. We found out where the studs are, But since I'm not going to have the shelves just like parallel with each other, now I have to find at least one more stud. Maybe two, one on each end. So I'm going to go ahead and try and find the studs. We don't have a stud finder. We don't. We just take a magnet, go along the wall, and find where the screws are, because if there's screws in a line, guess what? That's how you know there's a stud there. Do you know exactly where? No, but you know there's a screw there, so there's a stud, at least a 2-inch wide stud about right there. Good enough for me? So I'm going to go ahead and measure that out, I think. It seems like the smartest thing to do next before I go and put brackets on the boards, because I'd like to say, oh, I'll just take the second board, measure the same width in 8 inches, and then put my brackets there. But I don't know, I feel better if I just measure the wall first to make sure that I want the brackets 8 inches in from the board. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun for them to watch. I can't get it. How terrible would it be if I fell? So originally I had planned to film like us putting up both shelves, but it was really, really late at night. Our girls were pretty rowdy. The lighting in our dining room is terrible. There's only one light in here and it's not even centered in the room. So the lighting is just really awkward and the quality of video would have been poor. So I decided we were gonna get that first shelf up and then I'd try and film some of getting the second shelf up, and that's really all I was able to do. But either way, you can see the process of how they went from unfinished pine to beautifully stained pine. You buy some simple brackets, you put the brackets on, drill some more holes in your wall, and boom, put those babies up and you have finished shelves. It really is so simple. Finally, they're opening up the gates. Can you not film this? Oh my gosh. I don't even know what I was singing there, but yeah, upon editing, I found this clip that Jeremy got of me, and what a gem that was. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. You can see how simple it is. It's not expensive. You can build your own shelves very cost effectively, have them look nice, aesthetically pleasing to serve whatever purpose it is that you want to use them for. And so I did include some finishing shots here. They're not the best shots because, again, it's been a rainy week and the lighting just hasn't been great in here, so I apologize. But I tried to get some finishing shots for you guys, and I'm sure you'll see these shelves in some future videos. Anyway, this is our dining room and our homeschool area, so that was really why I wanted to get these done, to have them in our homeschool area, put some books on, some decor, some functional things. I've moved stuff around quite a few times already, but I think I have it how I like it for now, and we'll see if it stays that way. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you can see just how easy it is to make your own bookshelves. I promise you, you can do it. Anybody can do it. You are capable. It is not very hard. If you liked this video and you want to see more content from me, or just to hang out with me and see what I'm up to, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help my small channel over here, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.